So laying into Savasana, just resting here. We've got a nice group today, and welcome to Joan. This is your first one that you've managed to get to, so that's great to see you. So as we always do, as you're practicing your yoga today, take it easy. If your body is telling you that you need to rest, then it's okay to rest in child's pose or into this pose in Savasana at any time. Be kind to yourself. As you're laying on your back, supported by the ground, taking a few deep breaths. On each exhalation, noticing the ground beneath you, beneath your heels, beneath your calves and your buttocks. Feeling the ground underneath your back and your shoulders. And feeling your head supported by the earth. Noticing the sounds within your room. And let them go. And noticing the sounds a bit further in the distance, acknowledge them and let them go. This is your time for yoga practice today, for some self-nurturing to raise your vibration and raise the vibration of everyone in our group, in our beautiful yoga group. Scanning your body and noticing any areas of tightness and exhaling in those areas to let them go and free yourself from some of this, any stiffness or any tightness. And taking some more deep breaths. And notice your mind. You may still have some busyness from your morning. So acknowledge the thoughts and let them go. Our yoga practice today is going to be an energetic asana with a yoga nidra to finish. The yoga nidra is almost like a meditative sleep, and it's very restorative, very grounding. It's nice. It's been described like a breath of fresh air for your mind. We have just finished a full moon in Capricorn. And we've had a lunar eclipse as well. So as we move through our practice, we'll use the energy from the full moon and the lunar eclipse to help support our practice. These energies are great for helping to ground us in the face of uncertainty. It helps us to refocus on what's next. But it's important also in the last few months of uncertainty, we've actually been able to accomplish a lot in the uncertainty. So it's a time to reflect and celebrate on all the great things that we've done. And also a time to look back over the last couple of years to see your own personal evolution, even if some of the evolutions have come with painful lessons. Today, as you move through your yoga practice, thinking about some of the ways to activate your future dreams and use some of the help of the energy of the lunar eclipse. Some of the things can be to check in with your goals and check if they're manifesting in a way that brings you joy. Maybe you're inspired to do less, but give all your efforts in a more focused way to one important benchmark for the rest of the year. Capricorn is also ruled by the god of time. So you may be able to examine your relationship with the clock. If you stop scheduling appointments back in March, you may be time to start putting a few things in. Or on the flip side, if you've overscheduled yourself into Zoom meetings and family calls and duties, it might be time to spend more time in allowing yourself to be a bit more spontaneous. So scheduling a little less. So whatever that means for you, it's just a time to reflect. As we move through our yoga today, setting your intention for the practice, it might be to find joy, or it might be to do less, or to focus on one thing, or to add things to your calendar or take things out of your calendar. Listen to your body as you move through the asana. Always rest in child's pose or in savasana if you need to rest, and only do what feels right for your body today. Our body's different each time, so just listening to yourself. Thank you for being here today to share your yoga practice. I'm going to begin the practice with an Om to secure our space. You can join me if you wish, but you don't have to. So we're going to take a big breath in and then let go. And then take another big breath in and let that go. And on the third breath, we're going to do an Om together if you wish. Om. Okay. Coming up to a position on all fours. We're going to take our knees nice and wide and our feet together, and lowering our buttocks back to our heel and walking our hands forward, coming into child's pose. Taking some deep breaths here, allowing your body to relax and tune in with your breath. Thinking about what your intention is for your practice. And noticing how your body's feeling in this position. As you exhale, relaxing for more and more into the position, bringing your forehead down towards the mat. And we'll stay here for 3 more breaths. And then walking your hands back up onto all fours. And we're going to do some cat-cows. So having your knees placed underneath your hips and your hands underneath your armpits. So you've got your fingers nicely spread out. We're going to inhale as we lift our chest and lift our gain, getting a nice curve in our spine. And as we exhale, we're going to lift our spine up towards the ceiling, looking through our legs towards our toes. And continue on for another 4 or 5, warming our spine and getting a little bit of movement right across the whole spine. So nice and gentle. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then coming up to a position of standing on your knees. We're going to inhale, lift our arms all the way up to the ceiling, lift our chest and lift our gaze. And then we're going to exhale to the side. And then inhale, bring our hands back to center and exhale to the other side, getting a nice stretch from side to side. Letting your movement wrap around your breath. And then bringing your hands down towards the mat, tucking your toes under, and we're going to rise up into our first downward dog. Feeling nice stretch down the back of your legs as you gently bring your heels towards the ground, paddling each foot from side to side, getting a nice stretch through the back of the legs, through the calves, and also a stretch through the upper back and shoulder area. And then coming back down to all four, and we're going to move through some upward dog and downward dog movements. So as we go into our first upward dog, we're going to take our hands just a little bit forward, and we're going to bring our hips forward, raise our chest and raise our gaze. And then we're going to exhale, tucking our toes under, slide hands back a little bit, and coming up into a downward dog. So feeling that nice stretch through the lower back and the legs, and then bring your knees back down to the ground, hands a little forward, inhale as you lift up. So continuing on for another 5 movements. So going from upward dog to downward dog at your own pace, wrapping your breath around the movement, just noticing your breath as you go. Inhaling as you go to upward dog, feeling that nice movement in your spine, and then exhaling into downward dog. Well, let's go 2 more times. And then from downward dog, taking your feet a little wider than the mat and walking your hands up. So you're in a forward fold position. Staying here for a couple of breaths and noticing nice stretch through your lower back. And then inhale, slight bend in your knees and bring your hands all the way up and back to Anjali Mudra. So the Anjali Mudra is a little space in between your hands. It's about the size of your heart. So we come back to this position. So it's a reminder to be kind to yourself and to open your heart up and to more love. So we're going to go now into a sun salute. So you can join me if you want from the beginning, or you might want to watch as I go through the first round, and then you can join in the second round. So we're going to the front of our mat. We're going to inhale and raise our arms, raise our gaze into mountain pose, and then exhale as we fold forward into Paschimottanasana, forward bend, and then inhale, lift and lengthen your spine, and then exhale, we're going to step back into either a high plank, or you can have your knees on the ground for a low plank, and slowly lowering your body to the ground, bending your elbows, and then inhale as you lift up into an upward dog, tucking your toes under, and exhaling into downward dog. Stay here for a breath, and then we're going to raise our gaze towards our hands and step forward back to forward bend Paschimottanasana, and then inhale, lift your gaze and lengthen your spine. Exhale, draw your chest back towards your legs, and then inhale, come all the way back up and back to Anjali Mudra. So that's 1 round. We're going to do another 4 rounds. So you can do it with me, or you can go at your own pace. And if you need to rest, feel free to rest into child's pose or into Savasana. So we're going to inhale, lift our arms, lift our gaze. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And then exhale, we're going to step back into high plank. And then slowly lowering our body. And then inhale, lift the chest. Lift the gaze to upward dog. Tucking the toes under and pressing up into downward dog. Raising the gaze towards the hands. Step forward into a forward bend. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. And then exhale, tucking your chest in towards your legs. Nice stretch through the legs and lower back. And then inhale, coming all the way back up. So we've got 3 rounds to go. So inhale all the way up, lift and lengthen. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. And then exhale, stepping back into high plank. Slowly lowering down. Inhale, lift into upward dog. And exhale into downward dog. Raise the gaze towards the hands and stepping forward into a forward bend. Lift and lengthen the spine. And then hug your chest into your legs. Inhale, come all the way back up. We've got 2 rounds to go. Inhale, lift and lengthen into mountain pose, and exhaling, folding forward. Lengthen the spine. And then stepping back into high plank or low plank. If you want, have your knees on the ground. Slowly lowering down. Inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale into downward dog. Take a breath here. And then raise the gaze towards your hands. Step forward into forward bend. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. And exhale, tuck your chest into your legs. And then inhale, come all the way back up to Anjali Mudra. Nice. And I've got 1 more to go. So I'll let you go at your own pace this time. I won't call it out. Just have a play with it. Listen to your own breath. Nice work. Okay, well done everybody. So we're going to come back towards the back of the mat this time, and we're going to do a little warrior sequence. If you have a block, you might want to get that out and have that ready. So we're going to take the left foot slightly out to the side and step forward with the right foot. And we're going to inhale, lift our arms, lift our chest and our gaze, and bend that front knee, lifting up and stretching up into warrior 1. So this is giving you a nice stretch through that left hip flexor. Stay here for 3 breaths. And then we're going to take our right hand forward and gaze at the right hand, and our left hand back into warrior 2. And then we're going to take that right hand down towards the right foot. So you can place it on the ground or on the block or next on your ankle. And we're going to take the left hand up towards the ceiling and gaze at our left hand into triangle pose. And we'll be here for 5 breaths. Noticing the stretch through the back of the right leg and opening through the chest. Let's go 2 more breaths here. And then bringing the left hand down and taking the right hand just to the outside of the foot. And then coming all the way back up to Anjali Mudra, and then step back. Give your legs a little shake. And we'll go to the other side. So this time, right foot out slightly. Step forward with your left foot. And we're going to inhale, lift our arms, bend through that left knee. So the left knee is stacked on top of the left ankle. Lifting your gaze and lifting your arms. We're going to be here for 5 breaths. Gazing up towards the ceiling and noticing that nice stretch through the right hip flexor this time. And lift and lengthen through the spine, especially through the upper back. Let's go one more breath here. And then we're going to go to Warrior 2. So left hand to the front, right hand to the back. And then bringing the left hand down next to the left foot and looking up towards the right hand, up towards the ceiling, and straightening out that left leg a little bit. So you might have your hand either on the floor or on your ankle, or like I've got a little block. And we'll stay here for 3 more breaths. And noticing that stretch through the back of the left leg and the opening through the chest and shoulders. Let's get 2 more breaths here. And then bring the right hand down and framing that front foot with both hands. Inhale, lift all the way back up to Anjali Mudra, and then bring your legs together. Good work. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is a little bit of balancing work. So we're going to start off into a forward fold. So lifting our arms up all the way to the ceiling and then bending forward, bringing our hands down to the floor. And we're going to lift our left leg up towards the sky. The right foot opening out through the toes and getting really grounded through that right foot. And then we're going to, when you get stable, we're going to lift the hands up off the mat. At this point, if you feel you need to, if your balance is not great today, it's okay to take your left foot down, put your toe on the ground, but be curious and have a little bit of fun with it. So taking your hands off the mat and going into an aeroplane, gazing towards the top of your mat. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Good work. And then bring your hands back down to the mat and take that left foot down and then coming all the way back up. And back to Anjali Mudra. Good work. And then we're going to swap to the other side. So we're going to start off with lifting our arms, raising our gaze and folding forward. Having our fingertips on the mat. Then we're going to lift up through the right foot, spreading the left toes so we feel nice and grounded. Having that right foot up in the air. Find a gaze point on your mat. And then lifting your hands off the mat into an aeroplane. Feel free to take your toe back down. You might find you're better on one side than the other. But have a little play with it. We'll be here for 3 breaths. And then gently bring your hands back down to the mat and then bringing that right foot down. And then come all the way back up again. Nice work. So it's good to practice a little bit of balancing. We'll do one more. We're going to try the tree pose, which is probably going to feel easy compared to that one. So with the tree pose, we're going to start with grounding through the right foot, so opening out your toes and just doing a little bit of a circle with your hips and noticing the 3 key anchor points on your foot. So you've got it on your heel, just inside where the pad is for your little toe and your big toe. So there's 3 key points. So noticing that on the ground. And then we're going to bring our left foot next to the right leg. So you can either have it with your toe on the ground, or you can come up a little higher, or you can bring it up above your knee. Try not to have it on your knee. If you need to, you can be next to the walls to give you a little bit of balance. And then bringing your hands back to Anjali Mudra. And we're going to be here for 5 breaths. That's it. Just be curious. It's okay. Some nice steady ladies there. Good work, Jess. Nice work. Okay, let's take one more breath here. And then we're going to release our left leg and give your legs a little shake. And then we'll go to the other side. So opening out through the left toes and just feeling the anchor points on the left foot. And we're going to take that the right foot up. Get yourself nice and steady. It's okay to be near a wall if you need to be. And bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Staying here for 5 breaths. And then gently releasing. Nice work, everybody. Good job. Okay, let's come down to the ground now. So we're going to go into a forward fold on the ground. So this one's called Paschimottanasana as well, because you're forward folding on the ground. So having your legs straight out in front of you with your feet flexed, toes towards the ceiling. We're going to inhale, lift our arms up, and now raise our gaze and lift our chest. And we're going to exhale and bring our hands down either to our toes or to your ankles or to your shins, wherever they land for you. Have your gaze at your big toe. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. And each time you exhale, just relaxing a little more into the forward bend and noticing a little bit of release through your lower back and through the back of your legs, your hamstrings. Just noticing your breath. And one more breath here. And then releasing your hands. And then we're going to go into a Paschimottanasana with a slight twist. So we're going to inhale and lift our arms and lift our gaze. And then we're going to take our left hand to the outside of our right foot. And our right hand is behind us. You can wrap that right hand around your body for a little bind. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths as well. So this time you're feeling a little bit of a twist. Nice. So if you're not quite at your toes, you can have your hand on your ankle or on your right shin. Let's go 3 more breaths here. And then releasing, lifting your hands up to the sky. Nice big stretch. And then we'll take our right hand to our left foot, left hand behind. And then if you would like to, you can bind that left hand around your back. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. And again, each time you exhale, just letting yourself relax a little bit more into the twist. And one more breath. And then releasing your hand and bringing your hands back to Anjali Mudra. Now to rinse out our spine from the twisting we've just done, coming back down to your back. So laying on your back with your knees bent and your feet on the ground. We're going to hug our knees up to our chest. And as we breathe in, we're going to draw the knees to the chest. And as we breathe out, we're going to take them. So we're going to move our knees in and out. This one's called Apanasana. So this is a counter pose to relax our back and rinse out our spine after the twisting that we've just done. And then we're going to go into a little more twist to give our organs a massage. This one's for you, Deb, to help to release some inflammation around the gut area. So we're going to drop our right foot on the ground and take our left leg across our right leg. And then we're going to hug up our left knee towards our chest. As we hug it in, we're going to exhale. And as we take our knee away from our body, we're going to inhale. So just moving that in and out and noticing a little stretch through the glute area and through the ITB. It's the muscle that connects the hip and the knee. Then we're going to place our right foot on the ground, our left hand straight out from our shoulder, and our right hand on our left knee. As we exhale, we're going to draw that left knee towards the right side and bring it all the way across and relaxing into a twist and noticing how that massages through the organs on the left side of the body. So each time you exhale, just allow yourself to relax a little more into that twist. We'll stay here for 3 more breaths. It's quite a deep stretch and a deep twist, this one. So it's good for massaging the organs around the abdominal area, but also good for relieving any stress through the lower back and the glute. 1 more breath here. Then we're going to inhale and bring our knees back to center and place both feet back on the ground. And then we're going to lift up and put our right leg across our left knee. And then we're going to draw that in. So as we exhale, we're drawing that right knee towards our chest and inhaling, allowing it to move away from the body. So just moving it in and out and noticing that stretch through the glute area on the right side. And then on the next inhalation, dropping the left foot to the ground, left hand on the right knee, right hand straight out from the shoulder. And we're going to draw that knee across from the right to the left side as we look towards the hand on the right and allow the body to go into a gentle twist and relaxing into each breath that we take. So each exhalation, relaxing a little bit more into the twist. We'll stay here for 5 breaths and noticing how that's massaging through the organs in the abdominal area on the right side. Two more breaths here. And then on the next inhalation, bring your knees back to center and hugging the knees to the chest again. And doing some little circles on the lumbar spine, just rinsing out that stretch that you've just done. Good. Now placing the feet on the ground, and we're going to lift up into a gentle bridge. So as we have our hands on the ground, facing the ground, we're going to inhale and lift our hips up and just make sure that your heels are nice and close to your buttocks. So inhale, lifting up. So you can keep your hands on the face down on the mat, or you can put them underneath your body into a clasp position and draw your shoulders in. Lift up a little more so you have your chin up towards your chest. I'm going to stay here for 5 breaths. So again, rinsing out our shoulders and our spine, and a nice deep stretch through the hips. Two more breaths. And then unclasp your hands, place the palms down on the mat, and slowly lowering your spine down 1 vertebrae at a time. And then from here, we're going to go into an inversion. So we're going to have our feet up in the air, So at this point, you may like to move next to a wall and have your feet up a wall, or you can have them just straight up in the air, or you can place a block or a cushion underneath your lower back and have a supported legs up, or you can lift up into a half shoulder stand. Whatever direction you go. If you're coming into the shoulder stand, having your hands at your hips and holding your hips like you're holding a bowl of fruit. You can bring your elbows a little closer together as well. Feeling nice and light in this position, so just giving your ankles a little bit of a circle, give your legs a shake, you can move your legs in and out. You're going to stay here for 10 breaths. So the inversions are very good for your immunity, and they're also good for your lymphatic system to help drain some of the fluid out from your feet and your ankles, down through your legs, down to the lymph nodes in your body. If you're in a half shoulder stand, you might like to take your feet and legs over your head. If you've got your legs up the wall, you might like to take them nice and wide and have your soles of your feet touching each other. So 3 more breaths here. And then as you inhale, slowly releasing your body down to the mat. And then rolling over onto your tummy, we're going to do a locust pose. So the next one, laying down face down and taking your hands and bringing them back underneath your hips. So your back of your hands are on the ground and they're just underneath your hip. And we're going to inhale and we're going to lift our feet off the mat into a locust pose, and we're going to hold this for 3 breaths. So feeling a squeeze through the buttocks and a little bit of compression in the lower back. And 1 more breath, and then release the feet back down to the ground. And then bringing your hands to where you're underneath your shoulders. And we're going to go into a snake pose. So this time we're going to keep our feet on the ground, but we're going to lift our chest up. So we're going to take our hands around to the side. And as we inhale, we're going to lift up through the chest and lift our gaze. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. Nice work. And then release that one down. And bending your knees so you've got your feet up in the air, just giving your lower back a little bit of a break from left to right, just going from side to side. And then take it back to the center. And from here, we're going to reach back with our left hand, reach back to our left foot. And as we inhale, we're going to lift through the chest and also lift through the foot. So this is a half boat pose. I'm going to take 3 breaths here. Feeling that nice stretch through the quad on the left side and a stretch through the arm and shoulder on the left, and release that. And then we're going to reach back to the other side, putting our right hand onto our right foot. As we inhale, we're going to lift up through the chest and press back through the foot. So we're getting that nice stretch on the right side through the shoulder and through the quads. 3 breaths here. And then release that side. And again, just a little bit of backwards and forwards, just rinsing out your lower back. Having your forehead down towards the mat. We're going to reach back with our left and our right hand to our left and our right foot. We're going into a full boat pose. So once you have your feet, then we're going to lift up And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. This one, as you inhale, you may find that you're lifting up. It's like a boat rocking. Really stretch it out and then release. And bringing your hands back. And we'll come up into child's pose and have a little rest there for a few breaths. So bring your buttocks back to your heels and feet together, knees apart, walking your hands forward towards the top of the mat and bringing your forehead down to the mat. And just noticing how your body is feeling. Again, exhaling into any tension that you may still have. You may notice that you are able to relax a little more into the position now. Take 2 more breaths here. And then we'll come into a downward dog. So coming back up to all fours, tucking your toes under. And we're going to spread our fingers and our hands and exhale as we lift up through our hips, bringing our heels down towards the mat. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths, just rinsing out all of the twists and stretches that we've done. Just taking 5 deep breaths. And when you've done your 5 breaths, coming back onto all 4 neutral position. We're going to finish off with a couple of cat-cows, just rinsing out through your spine and noticing the energy that you've built up in your body and the warmth. Inhale as you lift your chest and lift your gaze. Exhale as you lift your spine up towards the ceiling, looking through your legs towards your feet. So you're really rounding out your spine, consolidating all the energy that you have built up. Remembering back to what your intention is for your practice. Let's go 2 more breaths here. And then coming into a Savasana. So we're going to rest here in Savasana for your Yoga Nidra, which will be for about 10 or 15 minutes. So getting yourself really comfortable. You may need to have a cushion under your legs. You may like to have a blanket underneath your head or a blanket over your top of your body to keep in all the warmth. If you have an eye pillow, you might like to put that on. So getting yourself nice and relaxed. Nice and cozy. Taking 3 deep, relaxing breaths. And each time you exhale, relaxing a little more into your Savasana. Be aware of the sounds in the distance, moving your awareness from sound to sound without attempting to identify the source of the sound. Be aware of your physical body lying in Savasana, your alignment, your chin lower than your forehead, your spine aligned, your arms close to your body, fingers away from the floor, as comfortable as possible. Become aware of your natural breath and keep it completely spontaneous. Repeating your intention for your practice mentally 3 times with feeling. Rotating your consciousness around your body. Your right hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, the top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and rotating your consciousness around the left side of your body. The left hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side trunk, left side trunk, left hip, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and move your attention to the back of your body, your heels, back of your legs, buttocks, back, shoulder, arms, hands, whole spine, neck, back of your head, crown of your head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, center of your eyebrow, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, lips, chin, throat, chest, 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 abdomen, 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 pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. Become aware of your breath, counting back from 17 to 0. Checking your awareness that you're still awake. Awakening the feeling of warmth. Your whole body is warm. Your legs are warm. Your arms are warm. The whole body is warm. Now awaken the feeling of coolness in your body. Imagine the whole body is cool. Your arms are cool. Your legs are cool. Bring your awareness to the front of your closed eyes and imagine the following objects as they are named. A setting sun, a red rose, a beautiful garden, a clear blue sky, a rainbow, sound of the ocean, the smell of rain, a golden sunrise, a puppy, an eagle. Now is the time in your practice to repeat your intention 3 times. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel your body resting in Savasana. Aware of the room that you're in and your surrounds, the floor, the ceiling, the walls, the windows. the sounds inside the room and the sounds outside the room. Recall the time of day and know that your practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to an end. I will chime the singing bowl once. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Taking a few deep breaths and stretching out through your arms and your legs. Slowly rolling to one side. You can stay there if you like to rest a little more or come up to a seated position. Thank you for your beautiful energy today, for sharing your yoga practice, for all that you do for yourselves and all that you do for the group and our beautiful yoga community. Acknowledging the great work that you do here for yourself and for each other, raising your vibration so that you can share that vibration with your family and your community and raise the vibration across the earth. Let's close the practice with an Om, acknowledging the support that we receive. I invite you to join me, but you don't have to. We'll take a big breath in and let it go. All that doesn't serve us. Another breath in. Om. Bringing your hands to your forehead for kind thoughts and to your lips for kind words and to your heart for a kind heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I might take a photo of you all before we all start going.